It's just a few minutes away from the cave of the Heilige Pela Yoetz, which we've been waiting for. And I have to tell you, not only have you been waiting for in the hours that you've been on this bus, but I have to tell you, in the back and forth of this trip, I fought very desperately that we should be by the Heilige Cave and the Tzion of the Pela Yoetz. And before we get there, I think that we should understand a little bit of who he was and what he wrote. And I actually left some of the moivsim that he performed and some amazing stories, which we'll say by the Tzion itself when we're there, which also will help us to connect a little bit also. But I just want to start the idea. Rabbi Eliezer Papo, the Pela Yoetz, was, even though he was from the Gedolei Sfardim, he was accepted, especially this sefer amongst many of them, which is a Musa sefer. The Pela Yoetz is a sefer on Musa. Was accepted by all the Gedolim, as we'll see in a moment, by many Hasidim and Rebbes. He was a dayan in Bulgaria, where we are at this moment of time, a Rav there for many, many years. It was printed for the very first time in Kushtandina, which is in Istanbul, in 1824. He was born, the Pela Yoetz was born in Sarajevo. He was a Rav in Solistra, which is in Bulgaria. He was nifter in 1828. He wrote many Svarim, in his 20s already, many on Shas, Yerushalmi, and he quotes in the actual Pela Yoetz, he quotes from all over Shas and Rishonim, from Zoya Kodesh, from Shla Kodesh. It's unbelievable what he quotes. In fact, the name Pela Yoetz, apart from the Lashon of the Pela, Pei Lamed Ayin, which is Pei and Lamed is so Lamed and Ayin is Eliezer, and Pei is Papa, which is his name. But actually, Pela Yoetz, as I'm sure everybody knows, comes from a posuk in Yeshayahu in Perek Tes, where the Novi tells us that about the prophecy of Mashiach, that when Mashiach will be born, it will be a child that will be born to Malchus Beis David, it will be a Gibor, and will be Pela Yoetz. So he named the sefer after that. He wrote many, many Sfarim. He wrote a sefer called Oiris Elim. He wrote a sefer Elef HaMogen, those of you that learn Shulchan Aruch, Chesed LaAlofim on Shulchan Aruch Orach Chaim. He wrote a sefer called B'Tfilah, Yalzu Chasidim, on the sefer Chasidim. Amongst many, many Sfarim, he was recognized as a Poyel Yeshuos. People, even Goyim, would come from very, very far just to get a bracha from the Heilige Pela Yoetz, and people, everyone knew that he was special. And it's an amazing, if you learn the Pela Yoetz, as many people do, and as maybe we will also, he writes that I'm writing these eitzes, yoetzes and eitzes and advice. I'm writing this advice for people like me, he says, people like me, people of my age, people are regular, normal people, he says. Now, his father, as testified by the Pela Yoetz himself, was not a Rav, but was an Ish Tzaddik. For example, there's a sefer, in the Sefer Pela Yoetz, which, if anyone that's familiar, if you're not, I'll tell you, Pela Yoetz goes according to the Aleph base. And in Ois Ches, which is the Ois of Choila, sickness, he talks about how to react when a person is sick, how to deal with it, how to talk to Hashem. And he mentions over there that when his father got sick, so he said a special tefillah that was composed by Rabbi Yehuda Halevi, that many of the Sfardim know this by Yom Kippur by night, L'cha Eli Tshukasi, and he would cry tears every night. Says the Pela Yoetz, Ashri me, praiseworthy as someone who saw him, conducted himself in his illness. And his father told everyone that visited him that now they visited him, take upon something, because nobody lives forever. The Rav, by the way, before the Pela Yoetz in Bulgaria, was the Chacham Tzvi. For those of you familiar, the Divrei Chaim of Sons was an einikel of the Chacham Tzvi. Just to give you an example of the sensitivity of the Pela Yoetz, when he realized as a child and the people around him realized his gadlus, they said to him, you can't just learn with people of your age. We're going to put you with the advanced students because, that's what you belong and that's what you're holding by. And the Pela Yoetz said, absolutely not, because I'm going to embarrass and it's not going to be fair for the people around me, because they're going to feel bad and they're going to feel a bit down that, I've gone a higher rung than them, and it's not kedai just from my greatness to be able to go to people that are greater when I'm going to put down others. That was his sensitivity. Rav Scheinberg, a nephew of Rav Chaim Pinchas Scheinberg, said, I heard this from Shul Baruch's father, that he said that the Pela Yoetz was the Musa Sefer of Rav Aaron Leib. In fact, in Sefer Derech Tzadikim in Chelik Beis, he brings over there from Rav Chaim Kanievsky Zatzal that a group of Machanchim People that are involved in chinuch, came to Reb Chaim Kanievsky's father, the stipler, and they asked, which Musa Sefer should we teach for our children? And the stipler said, 2 Sfarim. Number 1, Orches Sadikim, many of you are familiar, and the second one is Pela Yoetz. In the Sefer Oiles Elim, one of the Sfarim of the Pela Yoetz, he writes, listen to this, Rabbi Say. He writes that anyone that's Yodea Sefer, that means anyone that knows how to learn. He says, if you learn my Sefer, you will be doing me a chesed shalemes. And if you learn my Sefer, 2 great things will come out. Hopefully, 1, the words will be integrated within your life and it will help you. And number 2, and he says it B'lashon, if I happen to make it to Gan Eden, I guarantee you that I will go to the Kisei HaKavod and I will daven to the Rabbeinu Shalom for whatever you need. And that Rabbi Say leads us to where we're about to be. There's a mikveh by the Pela Yoetz. The Pela Yoetz is brought down to say that if you come to me and you toivel in the mikveh and you daven at my keva, belev nishba, with a broken heart, Zuk the Pela Yoetz, I am an orev, I'm a guarantor that I will go to the Kisei HaKavod and whatever you ask for will be fulfilled. Rabbi Say, Mitzvah by the Tzi and by the Keva we'll talk some more, but understand we're about to go to a place, a Mokom Kadosh, a Mokom of a Tzaddik, someone who understood so many things. You read Pela Yoetz, you see, Mamach, it's Molly Gavaldige Eitzes. We're going to have an opportunity to daven there, and like I said, when we get to the cave, take a few minutes to listen to what we're about to say of the Pela Yoetz, to get more of a connection as well. And the Rebbeinu Shalom should give us Be'ez Hashem Siyata D'Shmaya in our tefillahs, that all our tefillahs will be miskabel Be'ez Hashem.